We are in the tragic 9 days of the month of Av, leading up to Tisha B'Av, which we'll be commemorating this Saturday night and Sunday. And I was doing some thinking, comparing the story with the Jewish people to that we read last week of the Midianites. The nation of Midian does something completely unacceptable, and as a result, they are doomed to destruction. Hashem commands them to be completely annihilated. Our sages tell us that with the Jewish people, it was heading in a very similar direction. In fact, the reason that the mourning period of the afternoon of Tisha B'Av is slightly less intense than that of the morning. In the morning we don't even wear talis and tefillin. In the morning we don't sit on proper chairs. In the afternoon we're allowed to do both of those. The reason that the afternoon is less intense is because it was in the afternoon that the temple was actually destroyed. Why would that be a reason for the morning to be less intense? Surely it should be more intense. Our sages explain that up until the afternoon, it had not yet been decided in the heavenly courts whether the temple would be destroyed or the Jewish people. When the temple was finally set alight, as tragic as there was a moment of relief for the Jewish people, because it was a message to us that we would not be destroyed, but the temple instead. Why is it that with the Jewish people, they, so to speak, get away with only having the temple destroyed, and yet the nation of Midian has no such reprieve? And I think there are many answers we could give. But one of them I've been thinking about is based on what the Mesilat Yesharim, Rabbi Moshe Chaim Luzzatto, says about somebody who's unable to take something seriously. He says Hashem sends people wake-up calls in their lives. If a person is going on the wrong path and Hashem wants to give them a better way to live, He sends them a message of how they should live. The problem is that some people are very heavy sleepers, that some people are not able to wake up when the wake-up call comes. Hashem then has to send heavier and heavier, more intense wake-up calls, until eventually, if it's a person who doesn't wake up, then they're completely destroyed. Not because Hashem intended to destroy them, but because they simply weren't able to wake up with all of the numerous warnings. And it seems to me that that's the difference between the children of Midian and the children of Israel, is that with the Midianites, it doesn't seem there was anything that could be done. It seems their society was so corrupt, and there was nothing that they would have taken as a message from God to change. And yet, Tisha B'Av, every year, as much as it's a day of tragedy, is a day of hope, because it reaffirms that lesson every single year. We can learn from our mistakes. Yes, we've made grave mistakes. We've made mistakes so grave that the very continued existence of the Jewish people hung in the balance. And God Himself was, so to speak, not sure whether we were a worthwhile investment going forward. Yet the decision was that the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash would be enough of a lesson for us, that we would be able to change our ways, that we'd be able to learn our lesson and move forward. Jewish history is full with tragedy. And over Jewish history, it's not simply the temples that we've lost, and it's not simply the temples that we mourn on Tisha B'Av. But what we need to remember is that as terrible as the experiences that we've been through have been, as difficult as the times that we've had, we've survived. Everything that we've had was not to destroy us. I'm not saying I know why the tragedies were. I don't think we're in a position to offer answers to every tragedy. But certainly some difficult things that we've experienced nationally and personally should be used as a meditation for us to look at, to think about, and to learn. How do I grow from this? How do I move forward from this? How do I take this lesson, become greater, holier, and better? Thank you.